I have a friend named Earl. We've been friends for almost 30 years. And next to Jennifer, he's probably the person who knows me better than anyone else. One of the things Earl will say often is he will say, hey, I'd crawl through glass for you. Now that may just be a saying, but Earl's proven himself to be true over and over again. As a matter of fact, many times in our friendship, in our relationship, when things have happened, whether good or bad, he's one of the first people I call. Earl has shown himself to be a true friend. And I'm not going to talk about whether I've been a true friend to him. That's up to him, but I sure have tried. And this is a give and take relationship over the years. You know, friends are important. There's a verse in Proverbs that talks about we can have a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And friends are important for us to have good friends and to be good friends with others. It's part of having a great relationship. Jesus, the night before he died, in John chapter 15, he was teaching his friends, the disciples, some different things, some very important things. Now, I've had the privilege of being by the bedside of people who knew that they were about to take their last breaths, and the things that they wanted to communicate to their families were the most important things. Those things that they said, I need to make sure my family knows this. And usually it's about how much they love them. Well, Jesus, before he died, wanted to make sure his disciples knew some very important things. In John chapter 15, he says this. He says, starting in verse 12, my command is this, love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. Now, you may know of people that have physically laid down their lives, that they've died in their friend's place. Could have been during wartime or other times, but they sacrificed themselves for their friends. But when I read this today, I thought about Earl, because he hasn't died for me or died in my place, but he has lived his life and continues to live his life as my friend and laying that life down. To find out what I need, to care about me, to care about my family, to care about my kids and grandkids and all types of things. I was thinking about, we have two choices. We can either be self-centered or we can be other-centered. When we lay down our lives for our friends, it's about living for them each day, about loving them the way they need to be loved. That's what Jesus did. Not only did he lay down his life for us on the cross, but he laid down his will and his life for the disciples while he was here on earth. And he continues to show that love to us today. Here's what I want each of us to think about. One, to think about, am I letting Jesus be a friend to me? Because he goes on in chapter 15, he says, I no longer call you servants, but I call you my friends. To think about that Jesus wants to have a friendship with us. We say all the time, the most important thing is to love God and love others. So are we letting God love us? Are we having a friendship with God through Jesus? And the second is, am I loving others? Am I being a friend to someone else? And am I letting someone be a friend to me? Am I being real with them? Am I being open with them? Am I showing them who I am so they can love me? I know that's a challenge for me because I'd rather just keep a mask on instead of being real. Well, I can't do that with Earl because he won't let me get away with it. He'll push until he hears the truth. When he asks, how are you? I know he really means it and he really wants to know. Well, I hope for you and I hope for me that we seek those kinds of friends and we also try to be that kind of friend to others. Hey, thanks for joining me today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Brett Humphrey. I'm the Next Steps pastor at our South Gilbert campus. I'm so glad I got to spend just a few minutes with you today. I hope that you find a good friend and you are a friend to someone else today.